In mindsets that drive guys wild. Now, if you're excited to learn what actually makes a man crave a woman and feel a deep sense of desire for her, start to feel feelings of love for her without wanting to pull away, getting nervous about commitment, ghosting, losing interest, rejection, etc., then this is what we're going to be talking about today in this video. So, hi, I'm Brody Boyd, if you don't know me already, with Magnetize Your Man. And for over 20 years, combined with my wife, Antia, we've been helping thousands of successful women all over the world to get a loving, long-term, and committed relationship with a man they desire. So let's go ahead and dive right in. We start with the first feminine mindset that drives men wild, which is, I love and appreciate men. So this is such an important mindset because one of the fundamental masculine drives is to be appreciated, to feel valued, to feel needed, to feel wanted. And if a woman is running with the unconscious belief of, I hate men, or I resent men, or I don't like men, or men are scary, or men are going to hurt me, or men are bad, these mindsets will affect and impact how the man you're interested in now will see you, because it'll seep out through your unconscious, through the cells in your body. It will seep out. And yes, there may have been men that have hurt you in the past, bad relationships, trauma potentially, and there are bad men that are out there. But if you ascribe all of that generalized belief onto men in general, and especially the man that you're interested in, it's going to cause issues, and likely it's going to end up pushing him away. Because what will happen is it'll breed within you a lack of trust, a lack of appreciation, trying to do things yourself, not asking for help, not asking, not showing him all the ways that you want him and you need him in your life, from an authentic place, not a manipulative place or trying to get something from him. And it'll bring this sense of true appreciation and a feminine yearning that will make him feel like he's arrived home. Like, this is a woman I could see myself with the rest of my life. I want to plant myself in this relationship, and I want to cultivate her happiness and cultivate her well-being, because I feel like I am valued and appreciated and needed and wanted, and I want to continue to bring that energy into the relationship. So that's a very powerful feminine mindset. The next feminine mindset, number 2, that drives men wild is vulnerability is a strength and not a weakness. Now, the other issue here is if you see vulnerability as a weakness, this will also cause you to likely close up when you're around men. That you don't want to be vulnerable because you're afraid of being rejected, you're afraid of not being liked, you're afraid of being hurt, being dismissed in some way or abused in some way potentially. And so the fear of not wanting to get hurt again will cause this mindset shift of, I have to protect myself and I have to be on guard around him, and that will lead into masculine energy, which will have the guardian armor over you, coming into a relationship like a soldier rather than like a princess, and it'll cause him to not feel devotion for you, to not want to treat you like a princess, and he'll treat you more like a soldier. He'll treat you more like one of his buddies, like a friend, like maybe somebody he'll still have sex with, but it'll be a friend with benefits, but it'll still be the friend energy of, like, this is like I'm dealing with another man. She's very upfront. She's very upfront. She's maybe even leading in the relationship. She knows what she wants. She is putting herself out there, but from a masculine place where he can't feel like he can be your hero. He can't feel devotional. He can't feel like he has the space to protect and provide and help you and give to you, because you don't want to be vulnerable, because you got it all taken care of. So the worst thing you can do is actually, when a man wants to help you, of blocking that and saying, I can do it myself. I don't need your help. I don't need no man. I'm an independent woman. And what will happen is you'll block his ability to give to you from his masculine energy, and it neutralizes the relationship. Now, of course, you can do that with men you're not interested in, but with a man you're interested in, you want to watch these mindsets and this behavior of, I'm a strong woman, I'm protecting myself, I don't need your help, I'm going to show you how successful I am, I'm going to show you how much achievements I've accomplished, the achievements I have, the education I've achieved, and you're leading from a place of, like, I'm powerful, I'm strong, I don't need you, And of course, he's going to say, well, if you don't need me, I want you to be happy. So I'm going to step away. I'm going to help you find somebody that you do need. Find somebody that you do want in your life because you don't need me. He may not know that you're actually coming to the table with this mindset of I don't need men in general, but he'll feel like you don't need him, that you don't want him from a deep heart place, and he's going to step away because he's going to say things. Even often you'll hear a man say something like, I'm not the man for you, or you deserve somebody who can make you happy, something like that. That's another symptom of this going on. So it's a very powerful mindset shift to be able to be open up and be vulnerable and actually see your vulnerability as the magnetic strength that actually draws him to you. It's strength because it is your greatest power as a woman. Your feminine, vulnerable core, your feminine, vulnerable energy is what allows a man to feel that he can be your protector, provider, to feel your heart, to feel an emotional bond with you, and want to continue to give to you and see you as his queen, as his woman. So it's very important. The next feminine mindset is, I graciously receive. So masculine energy is about giving. It's about giving, providing, doing, solving problems, handling things, helping you, giving you advice, giving you encouragement, paying for dinners, helping financially in other ways as well. And the feminine energy is receiving and sharing and appreciating and sharing your feelings and being vulnerable. And so if you're the one giving, if you're constantly giving him reminders or helping to manage him or helping him work through some issues that he's dealing with or helping him at work. We just had a story from one of our clients. Her guy was going through some issues at work and she was like texting him, giving him encouragement, giving him, in a way, kind of mothering him, giving him tips and advice for his meeting with his boss or one of his colleagues, whoever it was. And she was basically mothering him and giving to him, trying to help him, but it was coming from masculine energy. It's giving to him. And so he was then receiving her giving, and he was in his feminine energy. So what happened after that? He ended up getting upset. There were some other issues. He basically said, I don't feel like I'm looking for a relationship right now, because it was emasculated. It was neutralized. The polarity was neutralized, unfortunately, because she doesn't quite yet get these concepts. So that's what we're teaching, is how to actually fully receive and fully allow a man to give to you without going into mothering, giving, helping, those kind of things. Even nurturing energy can often be giving to a man. Again, it puts you in like a mother role and he becomes like the son or the child that you're taking care of and giving to him. And the polarity is completely reversed. So you want to think of this like sex or like dancing, where the man is giving, he's providing pleasure, providing leadership, providing vision, providing other forms of gifts and provision, and you get to receive and appreciate and enjoy. And when you're happy, he's happy. That's why we often hear this saying, happy wife, happy life, right? Well, there's a lot of truth to that. A man gets his sense of happiness and meaning knowing that you're happy and that you can receive from your feminine. The next feminine mindset that drives men wild is having fun. Now, having fun is like a little trick you can use whenever you're in doubt what to do with a man, because having fun naturally and almost automatically puts you back into your feminine energy, because it puts you into a state of letting go, of not trying to control the outcome, of not trying to control him, of enjoying the process, of relaxing, being in your feminine, receiving, being playful, enjoying. And so all these positive things come when you can get into this mindset of just having fun. Now, the caveat with this is it doesn't mean to have fun all the time with a guy. Because if you're just miss positive and miss I'm having fun all the time and I'm don't have any problems, don't have any issues, he's not going to be able to feel the full range of your emotions, because the feminine is the full spectrum of emotions, not just being positive and happy all the time. We call this being the Miss Too Cool for School archetype, where you're like, I'm too cool for school. Everything's good. I don't have any problems. I don't have any issues. Like I'm just enjoying my life. I'm just party girl. I'm just having fun. And a man can't really feel your heart. He can't really feel all the aspects of you. And most importantly, he's not able to provide for you. If you're just positive all the time, he's not able to actually give to you and be your hero and solve your problems and give advice. He's not able to step into his masculine hero instinct. So you want to have fun, but you also want to be the queen, which means that when problems and issues come up, that you vulnerably share those with him so that he can handle them. And then after the issues are handled and addressed, then you can reset back into your natural default, which is being a queen and having fun. So you're having fun, which would be your natural default after any issues have been addressed. So that's a good caveat, and it's a very powerful mindset to use with a man. By the way, if you have any questions or comments on this, go ahead and leave the comments or questions that you have so far, because I'm going to start answering questions pretty soon that are coming in, that you may have a question around a certain situation with a man or something that you're thinking about, some of the things I'm saying right now, some things that you're feeling or thinking about it, because I'm sure there's some things coming up which would be great to address. Now, the fifth feminine mindset that drives guys wild is trust and respect. So the masculine's fundamental desires are to be trusted and respected. The feminine's fundamental desires are to be cherished and adored. So by you showing him that you trust him and you respect him, that's going to be meeting some of his deepest needs as a man in the relationship. So the more often you can show this respect towards him by using a lot of the things we teach with magnetic feminine communication and asking for permission and sharing appreciation and trust. A lot of trust is about following his lead, being able to gladly follow his lead and trust him to lead you until he's making a mistake, or until if he shows he's not capable of leading you well, then you have to speak up. Again, this goes back to the analogy of like dancing, right? When a man is leading in the dance, you're not able to dance with him if you're not able to trust him to lead you in the dance. If you don't let him take that lead and twirl you here and move you here and pull you back and pull you forward, you need to be able to trust him to do that. And he needs to feel trusted for him to enjoy the dance and to feel that you are receiving his leadership and that he feels like he's doing a good job as a man, that he gets his sense of purpose, he gets his sense of meaning, that I am able to lead her and she seems to be enjoying it and trusting it. And of course, if you are enjoying his leadership and you're trusting him, you're respecting him, and he's providing for you and he's being your hero and he's solving problems and he's making you happy and giving you pleasure, you want to share that with him and share with him how it makes you feel so that he knows, okay, yes, I'm doing a good job. Now, if he's not doing a good job and you don't feel you can trust him and you don't feel you can respect him, you need to be the queen and you need to speak up and share that often, but you need to do it in the right way. You can still do it in a respectful and a trusting way, which is using magnetic feminine communication that will teach you how to communicate with him your issues, your problems, your feelings that you have around him, around the relationship, around an issue that you're having, so that he hears you, he feels what you're feeling, he gets to know what you're dealing with as an issue, and he doesn't feel attacked, he doesn't feel blamed, he doesn't feel criticized. He feels like instead he feels empathy and he wants to help and he wants to make it better so that you can be happy, so that you can bypass the issue and get to happiness again, where he will again feel happy, knowing that he's doing a good job and he's being a hero and he's being your man and that you're feeling good with that. So that's how you want to handle when you're with a man you can't trust and you can't respect. And then, of course, over time, if he's still not stepping up, if you've used magnetic feminine polarity that we teach, you use magnetic feminine communication, you've even gotten coaching around it, and he's still not stepping up and being the man you need to meet your needs, to make you happy, then you need to move on. You need to be willing to step away, because that's what a queen would do, is she would set a boundary with herself and she would say, I need to move on for my happiness. I can't be in a situation where my needs aren't being addressed and the man isn't taking care of me through devotion. So that's what you're going to activate when you use this with him. And ideally, you're going to use what we call the magnetic feminine 90-day challenge, which is again something we'll teach you, so that you give a period of time, like 90 days, to give him a chance to actually shift after you're shifting and using magnetic feminine communication, magnetic feminine polarity. And if he hasn't shifted after 90 days, then it becomes very clear you need to move on. But at least give it that period of time so that you can really make a difference and inspire him to step up into his king and to his masculine power to be the best leader for you and show his devotion to you. So I hope that was helpful. And if you'd like to take the next step and actually learn some of these principles, the Magnetic Feminine 90-Day Challenge gets coaching support with this. I highly recommend taking our free Magnetize Your Man quiz to get a loving, long-term, and committed relationship with a man you desire as soon as possible by clicking on the link in the description or comments below, or in the bio that we have, depending on where you're watching this, or you can go to our website, magnetizeyourman.com, magnetizeyourman.com. So I hope this was helpful, and I'm going to start answering some questions now that have been coming up. Katie said, this is true. Yes, awesome. And Katie also said, my husband is becoming absolutely devoted to me. I've been so vulnerable. Yeah, that's really great to hear, Katie, because vulnerability is one of the strongest keys to having a man feel devoted to you and to step into his masculine. So I'm really glad to hear that. And again, if you're listening right now and you have questions, because we always get so many questions during these live streams, if you have a question about your man, an issue you're dealing with, your love life, dating, whatever it is, go ahead and post your question in the comment right now, in the comments. And as long as I have time, I'll be able to hopefully answer some of your questions that you have to help you with your man to get that loving devotion, like what Katie's talking about, that comes through feminine appreciation, feminine vulnerability, all of the other things that we teach. Okay, so this is a good question. So Ari said, wow, smack my head. Was she not supposed to be supportive? Yes. So of course, you want to be supportive as a partner, as a good partner with your man. The key is, are you actually mothering him? Are you giving to him? Because there's a difference between supporting a man and giving to a man and mothering a man. So supportive energy is really about you being in your feminine and seeing your man as a king and appreciating him. Really, that's how your best form of support is going to be appreciation. So appreciating him for all the things he does well and letting him know through your appreciation how it makes you feel, the things that he does, that you admire about him, that you respect about him. So saying things like, I feel so great whenever you take the lead in planning our dates or planning the adventures. It makes me feel so safe and happy, and I love spending this time with you. That would be like a form of appreciation, which is supporting him being in his masculine. Now, an opposite example of that would be supporting him from a mothering energy, masculine energy, which would be saying something like, here, James, I made you a list of all the things that you should have talked to with your boss about today, because I know it's going to really help you when you have this conversation. So here's this list of things, or these reminders I made for you, or I put together your schedule, or I planned this out for us. I wanted to support you, so I planned out the whole day so you don't have to do anything. You can just relax, and I'm going to take care of it. And so this would be you giving to him when he didn't ask you to do those things. So whenever, this is an easy test, if you're giving to him, if you're doing things for him that he never asked you to do, or never even said that he wanted, but you're just like, oh, I'm going to do this for him. I'm going to come up with these things. I'm going to, we talked about this in the last video, like I'm going to make him a birthday cake, or I'm going to make him all these things and give him like a gift. For example, for Father's Day or whatever, I'm going to give him a gift, and that's how I'm going to show my love and support to him. Now, that's great that you feel that love for him. Now, the challenge here is that by giving to him, you've put yourself into the masculine giving role, and you've put him into the feminine receiving role. So what's much better is when he actually has asked you to do these things for him, then he's still able to lead. He's still able to be in his masculine. So if he says, babe, like, could you plan something fun for us this Saturday? Like, I'm pretty exhausted, and I'd love if, you could help, like, get something together, for the kids or whatever the situation might be. When he asks you to help, that's different. And then it's about tapping into your own emotional state and saying, do I actually want to help him, or does it feel bad to me in some way? Do I actually want to do it or not? Because if it doesn't feel good to you when he's leading you, you have to speak up. But if it does feel good, then do it. And now you maintain the polarity because he's actually led you to do those things. And so it's not you being in a mothering energy and just giving him a bunch of things, trying to hope that it makes him love you, or hope that then he's going to want to give to you, or that he's going to want to give you whatever you want because you're just giving to him, and you're anticipating his needs, and you're trying to find other ways to make him happy. Then that's actually going to put him into the feminine role. So you want to be careful of that, because it'll destroy the polarity in a relationship. We've seen this happen many times. So Crystal had a question. She said, by the way, if you have other questions, anyone else have follow-ups on what we're talking about here, go ahead and post your questions now in the comments. any issues you're having with the man you're dealing with right now, so I can address those while we're still on the call here tonight. Crystal said, I left a selfish narcissist and now 1 year later have a new guy who gives me anything, takes care of me. We're not committed yet, but I'm still scared a bit. He's a super nice guy. We talk a lot as well, have a lot of fun. Yeah, that's awesome, Crystal. Great to hear. Sounds like you do have a healthy polarized relationship there where he is giving to you and he's taking care of you. And I guess your issue that you said you had here is you're still scared a bit. So you can post in the comments what your actual fear is. If you're afraid of the relationship ending, or if you're afraid of getting into a bad situation again, or if you're afraid of actually receiving. Because I want to talk, I will talk about that as well, like all of those, but a big one is the fear of receiving. So you may feel vulnerable when a man is actually giving to you and he's providing leadership, protection, solving problems for you, etc. Whatever he's doing, it might become feeling, start to feel scary for you because it feels vulnerable. Like, wow, you mean I don't have to be the one that's giving all the time? I don't have to be doing everything for him? Like, I could actually just receive, and he wants to give to me, and he wants to make me happy. Like, so you may start to feel guilty. You may start to feel like, wow, who am I to receive all this? Like, am I good enough for this? Am I worthy to have a man actually treat me like a queen? So these conversations can come up because for you to be a queen and a high value woman and a worthy woman, that means that you're starting to adopt the belief that we'll help you with as well, the belief of that you are worthy to receive. You are worthy to have a man taking care of you, wanting to give to you, wanting to make you happy. Because why wouldn't he? Of course he would. It's just the usual. You're an amazing woman. You're an incredible woman. You're the queen. Why wouldn't he want to give to you? Why wouldn't all men want to give to you? So that's kind of the shift in mindset you can start to adopt, that of course you're a worthy woman. And this is the natural order of things for you to receive from a man and not have to give, provide, mother him, take care of him, send him reminders, make his lunch for work, which is fine, again, if he asks you to do any of those things. If he doesn't ask you and you're just doing it, then that's oftentimes mothering energy, and it's going to reverse the polarity. And then you'll get caught in a situation where it's like, I gave so much to him, I did everything for him, and he still cheated on me. Oh my God, we've heard this so many times. It's depressing. Like, I did everything, I gave the world to him, and he still cheated on me, or he still left me. And that's the saddest thing to hear, because it's like you did all these things for him, hoping that he would be loyal to you forever, that he would never leave you, that he would give to you, that he would forever appreciate you. But instead, what you got was a man who didn't feel needed in the relationship, who didn't feel like he could provide his masculine leadership, who didn't feel like a man, ultimately, felt like a child maybe, or he felt like at best roommates, because the polarity was destroyed. It's not your fault, and it's not really his fault either. The fact was that you both didn't know these dynamics, and you were giving because you thought that's what was going to make him happy, and you thought that's what was going to make the relationship great, but you ended up actually ruining the polarity. You might not even known about that, and you didn't realize that men need to feel like they can give to you. They need to feel like they can solve problems for you. They need to feel like they are needed in order to feel happy and that they have a purpose and a meaning in the relationship. So you have to give him those opportunities. And the main way that this starts is by you stopping giving to him. You have to stop giving him money. You have to stop giving him food, making things for him, giving him gifts, back massages, any of these things. Again, unless he's asked you for those things, you have to stop and instead let him do those things for you and appreciate him for those things, and actually ask for the things that you want using feminine communication, and sharing with him your feelings and your problems so that he can solve them for you. And he starts to step into the man role in the relationship, and he actually starts to feel happy being in a highly activated male in a healthy polarized relationship where he's the hero and his masculine instinct is fully there. It's fully activated, and he's going to feel great. He may not even known that that was possible for him before. So that's what we're going to help you with and teach you to actually have a healthy polarized relationship with a man where he devotes himself to you. So hope that helps, Crystal. Chastity said, Colby's my hero. I'm going to learn to be the most feminine, submissive for my King Colby. That's beautiful to hear. Yeah, acknowledging him as your hero is a great start. Just even using that phrase, like, you're my hero. Whenever he does something for you, like, thank you so much, you're my hero. That activates it for him. You can even call him your king. Call him King Colby. Like, why not? Like, that's going to activate his king energy even more when you show that appreciation and you show that you see him as that. He's going to want to step more into that and be your king and provide his healthy masculine relationship leadership to make you happy and to give you pleasure and to be your hero. So it's a beautiful thing. Thanks for sharing that, Cassidy. Erica said, I'm with a man that isn't contributing around the house and it isn't motivated to fix things, and he is a handyman and can do practically anything. I've been doing 90% of everything that needs to be done and have told him multiple times that I need help, and he agreed to help but never followed through. What can I change about what I'm doing to help motivate him? Well, that's a great question, Erica. So there's a couple key things I'm going to give you, so listen closely. The first thing is you have to stop doing those things yourself. And I know it's going to be hard because you're like, these things need to be done or the house is literally going to fall apart. Well, sometimes you just have to let it fall apart. Let it fall apart until he gets to visibly see the impact of his neglect, because he's not activated in his healthy masculine. That the fact that he's, and we'll talk about the reasons, the other steps that you can, the reasons why he may not be fully activated in that, but he needs to see the impact. And if he's not hearing, if you're not getting enough impact from hearing it from you, which we have to talk about how you're sharing that with him, then he may just need to actually see it in reality and see the impact of him not following through and not using his God-given skills that he has as a man to solve problems, especially as a handyman. He's not able to utilize that, and so something's blocking him. There's something blocking him, probably about your dynamic. So that's the next thing I want to go into. After that, of not doing anything and not letting things fall apart, you want to make sure you're sharing the problem and the needs that you have in the right way. And that is where feminine communication, magnetic feminine communication, is so powerful, and it's going to be so helpful for you, Erica, because there may be subtle ways that you're communicating with him that are actually masculine, that's actually telling him what to do, or that's actually leading him. Even if the words may be right, sometimes the energy behind it is trying to lead him, trying to guide him, trying to get an outcome, trying to manipulate him even in some way to get what you want, to get him to do what you want, which is to step up, to love you, to devote himself to you, to cherish you, to adore you, to solve your problems, to fix the house. So we have to make sure your feminine communication is on point. And so a lot of the principles we're going to teach you are going to help you so much with him, such as asking permission, sharing your feelings in the right way, sharing the problems in the right way, sharing the stories that you're telling yourself in the right way, and sharing appreciation when he is doing things in the right direction, when he is, and doing that in the right way as well, which would be primarily sharing your feelings, how he makes you feel when he does good things and also when he doesn't. Not saying things like, you make me feel this, or you make me feel so frustrated, or I can't do this anymore, or the house is falling apart, I need you to step up, I need you to be a man. Like, that's not going to do it. That's going to push him away, because that's masculine energy and that's telling him what to do. That's trying to control him. So you're never going to inspire a man's devotion by trying to control him. You're only going to inspire a man's devotion by sharing problems with him, sharing feelings with him, sharing appreciation, being respectful in your communication and honoring, and letting him come up with the solution. So he has to feel your vulnerable heart. He has to feel the impact. And he can't do that if there's any hint of you trying to control him or trying to lead him. He's going to feel defensive. Because here's the thing. Whenever you use masculine communication with a man, he has only 3 options of how to respond. Either number 1 is he's going to get defensive and he's going to fight you. He's going to argue with you and say, like, that's not true. Like, I'm doing everything around the house. Like, you're not contributing anything, or you need to do this. And you can't call me that. So he's going to get defensive. Number 2 is he's going to submit to your leadership. So he's going to say something like, yes, dear. Okay, dear. I'll do what you say. I'm going to follow your lead. All right. And he's not going to feel good about that on some level, because every man has a masculine core and every woman has a masculine core. So at some level, if he has to submit to your leadership, he's going to feel bad about that at some level, because he's going against his natural core, his natural instinct to lead and provide. So he's going to feel bad, and eventually that's going to wear down on his self-esteem, and likely he's going to become depressed, and it's not going to be good. And then number three, the third option he has is to pull away and withdraw. So he's just going to say, like, I can't deal with this. I need to go out. I'm going to go out. I'm going to go out, hang with the boys. Or I need some space. Or like, shut up. Don't talk to me. And he's just going to pull away. He's just going to withdraw. And so those are the three options. When you're in masculine behavior, most likely he's going to respond in one of those three ways. And you've probably noticed some of these behaviors. So that's oftentimes a sign that you're communicating from your masculine or in your masculine energy. When you notice that a man is arguing with you, he is seeming depressed or low self-esteem, or he's just doing what you say. Or number three is he's pulling away or losing interest. So those are the three signs to watch out for, the three demons that you want to avoid, that you are likely in your masculine energy in your relationship. Now, there's so many things we can go into. I don't have all the time in this live stream tonight, but one of the big keys to help you to get back in your feminine energy is, again, to simply share your feelings and share the vulnerable impact that he's having on you by saying something like, I feel sad, or I feel anxious, or I feel fear, or I feel pain in my heart. And let him respond to that. You have to do other things around that as well, like asking for permission so you're not energetically penetrating him, and letting him feel the impact in your heart. So he's going to likely ask questions like, why are you feeling that, or what's going on? And then you can explain more, like the story. I've noticed that I've been asking you the last couple of weeks to help with the refrigerator, and you haven't helped. And I'm telling myself a story that maybe I've been in my masculine energy, or I've been trying to lead you, or that you don't care and you don't want to fix it. And that thought made me feel sad, and I don't know what to do. Let him respond. Let him respond to that. Let him feel your vulnerable heart. He understands what the problem is. He understands what the story is. Let him respond. And then from there, you can ask a question like, may I ask for some help? Or may I ask what you think about that? And see what he says. Those are just some starting points, but we have to also look at the whole picture as far as the other dynamics in your relationship, and making sure you're using magnetic feminine polarity, magnetic feminine communication in the right way. So I'd also highly recommend taking our magnetic feminine 90-day challenge if you haven't already, which you can get again by our free quiz, going to magnetizeyourman.com or clicking the link in the description or comments below. I would highly recommend that to you as well. So hope that was helpful, Erica. The next question, Chastity said, I will trust him and I want him to lead me and dominate me, especially in bed. Yeah, well, we all know that that's a fantasy of a lot of people, men and women, because that's the extreme of the polarities, right? So 50 Shades of Grey. What's that book about? Why was that book so popular? It's because of this idea of being with a dominant man who knows how to lead, who you can trust, who's taking charge and leading you well to the pleasure land, the land of milk and honey, leading you to the promised land. So yeah, but that's like an extreme example, which oftentimes is in the bedroom, because most women would not say, I want a man to dominate me in my relationship, but they would say, I want a man to take the lead. I want a man to chase me. I want a man to pursue me. I want a man to invest in the relationship. I want a man to show me that he cares about me. So there's many spectrums upon like his masculine activation and your feminine activation. But again, this is one of the reasons why one of the only ways to create long-term chemistry, passion, attraction is the tension between masculine and feminine polarity. The law of polarity states that opposites attract. Masculine energy attracts feminine energy. The more feminine you become, the more masculine energy you're going to activate within the men around you. So that's what's going to create that juice. That's what's going to create that passion, and indeed sexual chemistry and sexual attraction as well, because it's a big turn on for many people, and really for all people, because at our core we have a masculine and a feminine core between man and woman, and that's going to be activated when you're in your core and he's in his masculine core, and it's going to get very juicy and very pleasurable. All right, great. Share Cassidy. Next one, Melissa said, hi there, I love your videos. Single mama starting over after leaving a 22-year relationship. Well, I congratulate you on being here, Melissa, because this is a great place to start. You're in the right place, starting fresh to attract a healthy, happy relationship. And especially as a single mama, you're going to want to attract a very healthy, masculine man so that he can take care of not only you, but your child as well, or children as well. So you're going to want to definitely be practicing magnetic feminine polarity because you're going to attract a man who's going to eagerly want to provide for you and your children because he wants to make you and your children happy because that's where he's going to get his sense of meaning and purpose in his life by he's able to make your whole family happy, which will feel even better to him, but especially when he's making you happy and feeling fully received by you. So you're in the right place, and it's great that you're starting this, that you're here while you're starting fresh before we make any too many mistakes out there in the dating world. There's a lot of mines to navigate in the minefields. So Anne Marie said, I have caught my husband lying. I talked to him about it. There's been quite a bit of this. He likes to exaggerate and then tell half lies and half truths. He seems very open but does not say much. His responses was, "You're right." I asked him what I was right about. His response. Let me see. I almost lost it. His response. Oh, his response totally something not related to the main topic. He says I will write a letter on how he feels. Still waiting. I also did tell him I don't want to hear I'm sorry unless it's a heartfelt apology. His I'm sorry means sorry, Anne-Marie. I'll apologize because it looks like your message got cut off. It's not my fault. I don't know the technology here. But yeah, so in this situation, it sounds like your man is tiptoeing around things a bit. And that's a sign of potentially an emasculated man, that he's afraid of making you upset because he doesn't want to be punished. And so he's definitely not sounding like a devoted, healthy, masculine king man, right? So what you want to do here is you want to start activating him into his king energy using the Magnetic Feminine 90-Day Challenge would be a great place to start with that. Some of the other things would be starting to share your feelings more with him. So there's a lot in what you described, a lot of like, I don't want to hear I'm sorry. So that's not really feminine communication, by the way, also. Saying to a man, like, I don't want to hear you're sorry unless you really mean it, or I want you to tell me heartfelt. Like, basically what you're doing there is you're telling him what to do. You're leading him. You're saying, like, don't do this, don't do that, do this, do that. That's all leading. That's leading energy. So you're not going to inspire his devotion, and you're not going to inspire him to change really through leading energy. All you're really going to inspire him to do is to be more careful about making you upset and not wanting to activate your anger. So what I would recommend is sharing your feelings. You have to be more vulnerable, and you have to share your feelings in the right way using magnetic feminine communication to help him feel the impact in your heart, what's going on for you. For example, I feel sad. I feel confusion. I feel disappointment. Even though disappointment, sometimes I avoid that word because it can sound sometimes a little accusatory, like I'm disappointed in you. But so sharing, for example, I feel sad is a great thing to share with him in the right way so that he can feel your heart and realize the impact around what he's doing whenever he gives you an untruth. And so one of the other things we do for our women in our coaching memberships is we actually do this for you. So we actually will take your exact situation and we'll create the script for you. We'll create the perfect script for you of a conversation to use with your man that's coming from pure feminine energy, feminine communication, that activates him to change, that activates him to behave in a different way, that shifts his energy towards you. So that's what I would highly recommend in a situation like this, because there's so many different aspects of things that are going on with you and him about the half-truths, and then him writing a letter, and then him not really, you feeling like his apologies aren't really heartfelt. So there's a lot going on there that it'll be very helpful for you to have a script to use right away, and that you will get the principles through that process as well. And we can give you future scripts and more scripts as well, basically as many as you need to navigate these difficult and challenging conversations with a man so that you can have him inspired to want to shift and to feel your heart and to feel the impact and to feel Like he's not stepping up as a man. He's not performing well as a man, but not that because you're blaming him, not because you're making him feel bad, but because he just realizes that for himself and he wants to be better. He wants to do it better. So that's what I'd say for now, Anne Marie. There's a lot of important aspects in what you mentioned, but you're in the right place. Continue to learn because you're learning these better strategies, and these are going to help you so much with navigating this tough situation with him. One of the big things I would recommend starting with is sharing your feelings in the right way and letting him solve it, letting him solve the problem. Like, I'm just feeling sad. I don't know what to do. Sometimes you can just use that. I'm just feeling sad. I don't know what to do. And let it be up to him. He's going to hopefully step up and start shifting it. But it'll be good to have a full script of exactly what to communicate with him to make it shift with him in your relationship. So very important. Hope that was helpful. And Marie, great question. Kelly said, what's a good way to stay feminine and nurture without stepping into my masculine in a relationship? I have a tendency to be a giver and I'm working on it. Yeah, and so the thing is that giving energy is beautiful. There's nothing wrong inherently with the giving energy, just like there's nothing wrong with your emotions. There's only bad behaviors and bad ways of using that giving energy. So what I would recommend is starting to actually shift that giving energy back towards yourself. So when you find yourself wanting to give to a man and wanting to help him with something, help him with a problem, help him with his issues, make him happy, give him pleasure in some way that he didn't ask for, you want to give that energy back to yourself and say, how can you actually give yourself what you desire right now? How can you start having better self-care in your life? Whether that's exercise, getting out in nature, hanging out with girlfriends, taking care of your health, getting coaching support, reading, investing into your own, and things that make you happy with your life, your lifestyle, your hobbies, your clothes, your makeup, your hair, whatever makes you feel good and attractive and like you're a queen, like a worthy woman, right? So you can try to redirect that giving energy towards yourself. That'll help a lot because now you're treating yourself like a queen. You're much more likely to inspire a man who's also going to treat you like a queen because he's taking his cue from you. He's like, oh, she treats herself like a queen. Maybe I should also treat her like a queen. So that's a big key. And the other thing is you want to just catch yourself. So if you catch yourself when you're like, oh my gosh, I want to give him a gift, or I want to make him a meal, or I want to send him this funny video that I found, or I want to send him this sexy photo of me, which again, there's nothing wrong with that inherently, but you can do it in the right way. Something like sending a sexy photo isn't as much giving, but it can still be giving because you're trying to make him happy, right? You're trying to make him feel something. You're trying to make him have pleasure or feel supported or feel helped. And that's all coming from your masculine. That's masculine energy trying to provide for him rather than him providing for you. Switching it around where him giving you a sexy photo or him cooking you dinner or him giving you a back massage or buying you a gift or buying you flowers, taking you out. So that's what you want to switch it into. So you have to catch yourself in those moments and say, okay, I just breathe into it. I'm worthy. I'm good enough. I don't have to do anything for him to like me. And instead, what would be better is to just share appreciation. So if you really want to give to him, just share appreciation and send him something you appreciate him for. Say, I really appreciate how much time you've been putting into work for us lately, and it makes me feel like you really care for us and want to build a better future. And I just want you to know that I really appreciate that. I appreciate your effort, or appreciate something he's done for you in the past that you're remembering, something he's done for you recently, or just something you appreciate about who he is as a man. You know, I just appreciate your sense of humor. I just want to share that I appreciate your sense of humor. You always light up my day, and I'm so grateful to have you in my life. That's a great way to give to a man, but it's not really giving, it's sharing. It's sharing appreciation from your feminine. So oftentimes, whenever you're using feminine communication, you're using feminine polarity, as long as you're using feminine communication, that's oftentimes the way you will know that you're making sure you're not in your masculine, because it's coming from what we've taught you, which has all been designed and optimized to be from your feminine energy and not from your masculine energy. So you're drawing a man to you rather than pushing him away. And a lot of it involves sharing vulnerably. So we'll teach you more distinctions about that, of course. Hope that was helpful, Kelly. Just some pointers with that. Crystal said, I have a lot of trust issues from childhood to adulthood. Lots of abuse and neglect I've been through. Yeah, sorry to hear that, Crystal. So that I know you're responding to what we talked about earlier with your fears with your new relationship with a man taking care of you. Um, yeah, so one part of it is forgiveness. And I know it's really hard, but if you can find it within your heart, the feminine practice of forgiving, Father, forgive them, they know not what they do. So finding that level of forgiveness of the people who've hurt you in the past, that can free you in a lot of ways. It can free you to be able to receive in the future and to be able to open up your heart again. Of course, it doesn't mean you have to forget. Forgiveness does not always mean forgetting. You forget, you forgive, you don't forget that there are bad people out there and those people who did bad to you. But you can energetically forgive a lot of people in your life because forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. Forgiveness is how you reward yourself and allow yourself to be free. So that can help a lot. And we have a lot of actually do a lot of training in our courses, in our coaching around forgiveness, because it can really free you to actually be in your feminine. Because again, without that forgiveness, that letting go feminine energy, what happens is the armor goes back on, the protection goes back on, the masculine energy goes back on, and I'm the strong, independent woman. I can do it myself because I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to be hurt again, so I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to be in charge. I'm going to wear the pants. Because you better not try anything, buddy. You better not try anything or I'll beat you up. Like, I'll screw you up. Like, that's what it's like when you're in your masculine energy and you're protecting yourself. And so a man's like, oh, like, doesn't necessarily make me want to come closer to her. Doesn't make me want to necessarily devote myself to her. Rather than if you were to share vulnerably and say, like, I feel afraid right now. I feel fear. I'm telling myself a story that I might get hurt again. I don't know what to do. And now he feels your vulnerability. Now he wants to help. Now his hero instinct is activated where he wants to protect your heart. And now he can be the protector. He can be wearing the armor. He can be the security guard or the soldier, the secret service around you, protecting you from getting hurt from anyone else, and especially from himself. He's going to make sure he's on extra duty to make sure he doesn't hurt you. And of course, you want to see if he's stepping into that role. And if he's showing you that he's a man who's capable of that, and that'll be more activated, and you'll attract more men who are in their healthy masculine when you're in your healthy feminine, where you're able to share vulnerably like this, knowing that vulnerability is a strength, and you attract men who want to protect and provide because you're allowing that, and you're not trying to do that yourself anymore. You're what's called a supported woman rather than a superwoman. Stop being a superwoman, start being supported woman, meaning a man can support you. You don't have to be superwoman and do it all yourself. You're supported woman. Men, your king, your superman is going to take care of you, and he will want to take care of you. And now you can relax, have fun, and enjoy and receive, which is the healthy feminine, which is going to make life a lot more enjoyable for you anyways, when you can let down the armor, because you know what? Armor is heavy, and armor gets rusty, and it gets sweaty underneath, and it's uncomfortable, and you can't really move, and you're kind of rigid, and you feel like a turtle. Like, it's not very sexy, and it's not very fun for you to be wearing armor all the time and protecting yourself. So these are some things that are going to help. And I know it's still scary. I know it's going to be terrifying. And if you ever feel unsafe with a man, you have to set strong boundaries, and by all means go into your masculine energy and get out of that situation and tell him no and clear yourself. But beyond that, like, you can inspire a man's protection through actually being vulnerable and actually having an open heart and living with an open heart. But it will take some courage, and it's going to take facing your fears and doing it anyways to a lot of extent. But we're going to help you with that, and we're here for you, and we're supporting you to be supported. So know that that's the case, and that's why it's also so helpful to have a community around you, like our groups, like our channel, like our coaching memberships, where we can help you and help you feel safe and be that support as well, so that you can start letting that armor go, start taking it off, and let us help you and let your man help you, because it gets really heavy. Melissa said here, I agree. My husband I was with 22 years, I played a very masculine role because I had to. He wasn't helping with anything either. Since being single, dating a guy, I practice being in my feminine. Yeah, that's great to hear. Unfortunately, there are a lot of feminine men out there, and there's damaged men, and there's men who are broken emotionally, mentally, physically in some ways, spiritually often. and they're not capable of really being in their healthy masculine. They just have to do more work. They need lots of therapy. They're just not there. It's maybe like 5% of the population. What I would guess is about 5% of the men out there, they're broken men. They're just not capable of being in their masculine ever. But most of the men can be in their healthy masculine, especially when you call them into it by you being in your feminine, healthy feminine. Because remember the law of polarity, the law of the universe that God created, that opposites attract. Opposite energies attract. Masculine attracts feminine. And those energies being attracted, when you are more in your healthy feminine, you're going to attract more men around you that are in their healthy masculine, and they're going to be drawn to you through that law of polarity. So it's very powerful when you can really own and start practicing and using all the principles that we're teaching you here and will continue to teach you. You're going to attract a very masculine man who will take care of you. And if you're in a situation right now when you're with a man, like someone earlier was sharing, that he's just not doing anything around the house. Sorry, I think that was Erica. Yeah. He's not doing anything around the house. Like you're going to more likely inspire a man into his healthy masculine. Even if you're with a man right now, he's not devoting himself to you. He's not solving your problems. He's not being your hero. He's not giving you pleasure. He's not giving you things. He's not giving in general. He's wanting to receive from you, or he's not doing anything. Then you can inspire him into his masculine, like what we're teaching you. And you will get him to activate and get him to start being your king and start providing. And it may take some time. It may take doing the full 90-day challenge, the Magnetize Your Man 90-day challenge. But that's going to allow him to step into that and become your king. And so it's still possible. With most men, it is still possible to activate them. They don't even know what they don't know. So they're damaged. They have things that have happened in their life. They've had issues with their father, issues with their mother, and they're not able to help to step in their full masculine. But once they can, and once you've given them a path to that by letting them win with you and giving them a path to solve your problems and to feel your emotions in a healthy way, like he'll be activating, he'll want to help you, and he's going to feel great about it. He's going to feel like, wow, I feel happier. I feel great as a man. I didn't even know this was possible. Because I'll tell you what, the man I was when I was in my early 20s was a lot less enjoyable than the man I am now, being able to provide for my wife and my baby girl, because now my masculine is online and I'm able to step into that leadership role, the king role in my family. And it feels so much better to me. And I hadn't had that opportunity before I learned these principles, before I got into a relationship with a feminine woman who's a queen. Like I was activated into my king and I was able to step into that role. And it feels so much better for me as a man to be able to provide that. So he doesn't even know what's waiting for him on the other side of being in his healthy masculine. That is, he's going to be happier and he's going to be more fulfilled. He just doesn't know it yet, but you can help guide him. I wouldn't even say guiding him. You're inspiring him into that by you being in your healthy feminine, in your queen energy. Mary Ellen said, good evening. We're going to answer, I'm just going to answer a couple more questions here. I know we have a lot coming in, but see how many I can get to. This is going to be more like a lightning round. Mary Ellen said, good evening. I'm divorced 36 years. My children tell me to find a man. I like a man in church. I found out he likes me back, but when I speak to him, his face turns red. What should I do? When I speak to him, my face turns red. That's fine. If your face turns red, it turns red. Like that's part of being the feminine vulnerable. You could even share with him. What I would do is actually speak with him around like sharing your feelings. So using magnetic feminine communication and sharing with him something like, may I share something with you? Sure. Like I feel a lot of anxiety right now. Him, why do you feel that? You, because I haven't been dating for a while. I've been divorced for a long time, and I feel like I really like you, and I'm just noticing I have a lot of like emotions coming up, and I feel like my face is even turning red. And I don't know what to do. And just let him be like, oh wow, this is like so sweet. She's like in her feminine vulnerability. She just shared with me what's going on for her, and like I want to help her. I want to reassure her. So you can actually share with him and be very honest and vulnerable and open. That's part of this feminine vulnerability where you can actually talk to him about this. And that oftentimes will make the fear actually go away, or it will diminish the anxiety and the fear, because now you're sharing it. Like shadows cannot exist in the light, right? Shame, fear, like these shadows cannot exist in the light. So when you're opening the doors of your heart and you're letting the light in and you're exposing yourself to a man in that way with your heart, uh, is often doesn't the shadows go away. They often will go away and the fears will go away because it's like the light is coming in. You like God is shining down on your heart now. And he's like, this is beautiful. And it's like, oh, I am beautiful the way I am. I can be beautiful the way I am. I can share what's coming up for me. All my emotions are good. All my emotions are valid. All my emotions are important. And I don't just have to be Miss Too Cool for School and showing all my fun side and positivity with him all the time, but I can actually share my other feelings. Like I feel afraid right now, or I feel sad. I wouldn't say I feel afraid right now. I'd say I feel fear, or I feel sadness, or I feel anxiety, or I feel anger. So you can share all these emotions, but all these emotions are beautiful to a man. It's just about sharing them in the right way and using magnetic feminine communication. And again, we'll help you create all these scripts, and we'll actually do it for you to have these more intense conversations with a man so that you can navigate those properly and have him be drawn towards you and want to connect deeper, rather than being pushed away or feeling like it's just awkward or uncomfortable or he can't feel your heart. So that's going to be very powerful for you. Hope that was helpful, Mary Ellen. Asia said, I would like to thank you for all the learnings. I have confirmed right to find the compatible man for me. More power to you. Yes, you will find the right man for you. I affirm it and I pray for it right now. God, if you're listening, she is finding the right partner. She is finding her man right now. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Yes, she is finding her partner. It is coming. He is coming. He's entering your life, and you're going to have a happy, loving relationship in Jesus' name. And for everybody listening, you are going to have a happy, loving, committed relationship with a man who treats you like a queen and cherishes and adores you and adores your heart. In Jesus' name, amen. Absorb that. Claim that if that's you. Claim that prayer. Use it and believe it, so that it can come to you, because it will. Because half of this battle is a spiritual battle as well as a mindset battle and an emotional experience. And that's going to allow you to be in your feminine and allow you to actually attract high quality men. So it's very important. Hope that was helpful, Asia. Mary said, my new partner is a true masculine. I have never had this. I had been pushed to be the masculine in past relationships. That's amazing. I'm so happy to hear that for you, Mary Kay. It's possible. So this is for all the women listening. Like, it's definitely possible to be attracting a masculine man who takes care of you, who takes the lead, who cherishes your heart, who wants to give you pleasure, who wants to give you protection, who wants to solve problems for you, and be strong. And so you can relax and enjoy, just like in sex. You're like relaxing, receiving, enjoying, while he's giving, providing, taking charge, taking the lead. It's where a lot of these dynamics root from, is from our biology. Chastity said, if his eyes dilate and get really big, does that mean he finds you attractive? He could just be flushed easily. If his gets smaller, that means he's not attracted to you physically at all. Yeah, I wouldn't make that the only sign, but it definitely could be a sign that he's attracted if his pupils are dilating when you're near him or talking to him. That's a really good sign. Kelly said, what are some tips on how to receive better and open that door for him to step into his masculine? To receive better. So those are two different questions. I'll address the first question. The first question is to open the door for him, is you want to ask for help and you want to ask for advice and you want to ask for him to give you things, but you do it in the right way. You do it using magnetic feminine communication that will help you with. And then also you share your problems with him. May I share a problem I'm having? Sure. I'm feeling like my computer is giving me all these issues. So it could be little things. It could be things about the computer, about your car, about your house, about issue with your family, with your health, especially whatever things you know he has an expertise in. Like, ask for his help around those things that you know he's good at, that he knows, he's knowledgeable about those things. Ask for his help, ask for his advice. And then, of course, with issues in your relationship, bring those up. That's very important to have those brought up in the right way, because you don't want it to become feeling like you are attacking him or criticizing him or blaming him or telling him what to do or trying to manipulate him in some way or getting an outcome. So that's where we can help you create scripts for that. But being able to share problems in the relationship as well and feelings that are coming up for you, that's going to be important, because that's going to allow him to solve the problems. And then receiving is just about allowing him to fix it, allowing him to give those things to you, and receiving graciously. So a big part of feminine receiving is receiving with your whole heart, with your whole body, and letting him in, letting him give it to you in that way, and sharing your appreciation afterwards, sharing how it makes you feel. I feel amazing. Thank you so much. This was so helpful. Um, that's really the feminine practice of receiving. So you might have little ways you can practice this would be just, are you able to receive compliments? Like if he were to give you a compliment right now and tell you you're super beautiful, like how do you respond to that? If the most attractive man in the world or your partner, the man you're interested in, was to walk up to you right now and say, you are just so beautiful. It's incredible how beautiful you are. Like, how would you respond? How would you respond? So it's a great question to see where you're at as far as your level of receiving. Would you say, wow, thank you so much. I feel amazing. I feel seen. I feel so gushy inside. Thank you. Or gushy is not really a feeling word, but happy, joy, grateful, uh, blissful, whatever those words are. Some of those may be too much, but like, there's never too much, but just, whatever that's authentic for you, how that would make you feel good, ideally. Now, if you're feeling scared, you could also share that with him. Like, I feel fear. Why are you feeling fear? Because I'm noticing that I'm having a hard time receiving that compliment. So that's a great way to actually receive vulnerably. You're still sharing with him how you're feeling. And then of course, appreciation. Thank you. Thank you so much. Or do you notice when a man's complimenting you that you're closing up, that you're just brushing it off or just saying like kind of being polite, like, oh, thank you. Being polite and just saying thank you without sharing your feelings is like as if a man was just to tell you he thinks you're beautiful just because he's being polite. It's just, oh, it's the polite thing to say. I'm just saying, oh, you're beautiful. Oh, you're beautiful. But he doesn't really mean it. He doesn't really say it from his heart. That's like why you want to share your appreciation from your heart so that he really feels it and he feels received by you in that way. Okay, so we're about wrapped up for tonight. I'm going to see one more question here. My partners call me his queen. I am learning my feminine with his help. I'm learning to let him be my hero. That's amazing. Erica said, thank you so much. I will do that. Chastity said, be more sexy towards him and just be playful and apologize when you're wrong and asking him for forgiveness. Own your accountability and never blame him for anything. Yeah, there's not really any case where it's helpful to blame a man. What you want to do is share your feelings. Share your feelings. That's much more effective. It's never going to really move things forward if you're blaming him or criticizing him. You want to share how you feel. Crystal said, thanks for taking the time for us. You're welcome. And then let's see if there's any other final ones here. I'm really prioritizing my feminine energy. Thank you. Have attracted a masculine man. In a way, he's helped me more with things around my home than my husband did. Have 4 children. Yeah, that's great. Great to hear. Chastity said, yes, never tell him. Always ask and be always happy with his decisions that he makes. Yes, never try to control a man. Never, ever try to take away his freedom, especially. Yeah, you don't always have to be happy with his decisions, but be happy authentically if you're happy with the decisions. If you're not happy with his decisions, you need to speak up and share how you feel, but you're doing it in a way where you're not blaming him or attacking him. You're using magnetic feminine communication that we're going to teach you. Chessie said, I love 50 Shades of Grey. Yeah, I really like the movies too. Me and my wife saw the movies. They were really good. And the soundtracks were really good too. Especially as friends and family, never try to get in between what's important to him and his wants space to give to him, and don't get upset with him. Kelly said, thanks for the feedback. Thank you. You're welcome. All right. Karen, very smart man. You're welcome. You're welcome, Karen. Amen. Hallelujah. Yes, we got some amens from our prayer earlier. Hallelujah. All right. So looks like it's about that for tonight. Hope this was helpful. Again, if you want us to do this for you and you want us to actually craft the messages that you can use with your man to have them come closer to you. And we've also even included what we now call our 7-word relationship rescue text message to get a man who's kind of pulled away or you haven't heard from him from a while, to actually have him come chasing you and come actually even feeling bad that he pulled away. That's something that we're also including now. But I highly recommend, if you haven't yet, taking our free quiz. That's where you get the access to all of that, to start your journey with us, to really mastering this, where we can do this for you, craft those messages, help you with your man, help you get the love and relationship and devotion that you so badly desire and deserve. go to magnetizeyourman.com, or again, you can click the link in the description or comments or bio below, bio somewhere around this video, wherever is best for you to find that. And we'd love to offer that to you as well as our free gift. So hope this was helpful. Hopefully we can coach you more in the future. I'd love to have you in our coaching memberships as well. We can really go deep and again, do this for you in a lot of ways with your man. This is where you're going to learn it so much faster. Hope we can help you there. Much love. Take care. And we'll talk to you again very soon. Bye-bye.